Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are all over the world. Welcome back to my channel. It is still your one and only 24/7 news boss. We are here to bring you another fresh update concerning the IPOB. And if you are joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our breaking stories.
In today's report is a deep dive into a developing story shaking the Southeast and the Zoo Nation for the past few days, which is still the capturing of Gento Yahoo, which the Zoo military describe him as a notorious IPOB and ESN commander. But here is where the story takes a dramatic twist. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, has come out strongly denying any connection with him, calling the reports a deliberate attempt to demonize their movement. IPOB says he is not their member, and they insist that linking him to their movement is nothing but propaganda. In my previous video about Gento Yahoo, some viewers commented questioning the authenticity of the story. I want to take a moment to address that. On this channel, we rely on credible sources and always verify stories and reports before presenting them to you. In that video, I also mentioned that IPOB had remained silent regarding Gento Yahoo. As many of you know, IPOB usually wastes no time in distancing itself from any violent activities or individuals attempting to tarnish its image, just as they did in the case of Simon Ekpa. Now, IPOB has publicly and strongly disassociated itself from Gento Yahoo. This further confirms the authenticity of the report we brought to you. And there are still more to come. So moving further, this story is much bigger than just one arrest. It touches on the deep wounds of conflict, the fears of everyday citizens, and the long-standing question of whether peace can ever truly return to the Southeast. So stay tuned because this is more than just news. It is an investigation into the heart of a crisis shaking the Zoo Nation. Before we dive in, let me ask you, do you believe the arrest of one commander can change the tide of violence, or are we just treating symptoms while the disease remains? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Who is this guy called Gento Yahoo, also known as Ifeanyi Eze Okorienta? This guy, Gento Yahoo, has been a feared figure in Imo State and across the Southeast. His name was tied to violent enforcement of sit-at-home orders, attacks on security forces, criminal operations ranging from weapon procurement to vehicle theft. But his activities didn't exist in isolation. Between January 2021 and June 2023, at least 1,844 people were pied in Southeast, staging human laws linked to gunmen, criminal gangs, IPOB ESM members, paramilitaries, and security forces. The indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) has long pushed for secession and the creation of an independent Biafra. While the movement once drew sympathy, the turn to armed struggle by some elements, especially through the ESN, has left communities devastated. The Zoo military, working with other security forces, finally captured Gento Yahoo at his hideout in Imo State. Security experts believe this could cause immediate disruption in IPOB's ESN's operation. Retired military officer Hassan Osman told Hume Ango, the capture of a prominent commander creates operational paralysis. This is the time for security forces to press their advantage. Yet many analysts warn, without tackling the root causes, poverty, marginalization, and lack of accountability, the cycle will simply repeat. Arrests may bring relief, but not solution. Analysts and activists see Gento Yahoo's rise as part of a dangerous circle. When the zoo government institutions fell, vigilante-style groups filled the void, but over time these groups turned predatory, feeding off the very communities they once claimed to protect. Mustapha Sani, a civil society activist, notes that we have seen these arrests before. The system that produces Gento Yahoo remains intact. Unless we address why young men take up arms, we are just playing whack-a-mole. Others argue that the arrest could produce fear in some areas. Chidinma Okoro-Etija in Okigwe expressed hope. Maybe our children can finally return to school regularly, but one arrest won't erase all the fear in our hearts. Meanwhile, residents worry about retaliatory violence. A community leader from Owerri warned that followers of Gento Yahoo might strike back at vulnerable villages. At the same time, displaced families struggle with psychological scares. Amara Nwosu, a trauma psychologist, says people have witnessed neighbors spied, homes burned, loved ones vanished. Healing trust will take years, not weeks. And then there is the cultural toll weddings and burials that used to happen in ancestral homes now take place elsewhere because families fear returning. Analysts argue that real peace can only come through a mix of security, economic and social solutions. Professor Chinedu Okafor stresses micro-investment schemes could help restore commercial networks that bind communities together. A traditional ruler adds, the military cannot solve this alone, it requires all of us working together. But human rights groups like Amnesty International insist that accountability must be central, holding both state and non-state actors responsible for atrocities. So what does the arrest of Gento Yahoo really mean? Is it a turning point in the fight for peace in Southeast, or just another chapter in a long story of fear, displacement and broken trust? The true test will not be headlines, but whether displaced families can return home, children can go to school without fear, and markets can thrive once again. So in another development concerning Gento Yahoo's capturing, IPOB spokesperson Emma Powerful released a statement making it clear that the group has no connection whatsoever with the suspect. He emphasized that Gento Yahoo had publicly renounced membership to IPOB a long time ago, and there are videos circulating online where he himself denied being part of the organization. Emma Powerful accused the Zoo Nation security agencies and sections of the media of deliberately trying to demonize IPOB and by extension the Igbo people. He described the reports as satanic propaganda and said IPOB is a peaceful and lawful movement whose only mission is self-determination for the Biafra people. According to IPOB, they are not terrorists, they are not kidnappers, and they are not criminals. Instead, they say their only so-called crime is rejecting what they described as slavery, colonial injustice, and the bondage of their people in the Zoo Nation. The statement also warned that IPOB will not take defamation lightly. Any media house or individual who publishes lies linking IPOB to crime will, according to Emma Powerful, be dragged to court. Reference to Nnamdi Kanu's video, this latest denial from IPOB echoes the words of its leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu during one of his appearances in court. In that video, which circulated widely, Kanu stressed that IPOB is not a violent organization. He warned that anyone committing crimes or doing evil in the name of IPOB would surely face the consequences. His words were clear. IPOB does not support violence, and any person hiding under its flag to carry out atrocities is on their own. For IPOB supporters, that statement remains a guiding principle, and they believe it sets the group apart from armed groups or criminal gangs. Some political observers say IPOB's denial is consistent with its long-standing claim of being a non-violent movement. They argue that the Zoo Nation security agencies often rush to link any violence in the southeast to IPOB, sometimes without strong evidence. However, other analysts caution that even if IPOB distanced itself from criminals, the fact remains that the Eastern Security Network was once openly declared as IPOB's armed wing. This, they say, makes it difficult for the public to fully separate the group from the rising insecurity in the region. Some security experts also add that whether IPOB is directly involved or not, its agitation has created an environment where criminal elements can hide under the name of Biafra to carry out attacks and abductions. On the streets, opinions are equally mixed. Some citizens in the southeast welcome IPOB's denial and agree that not every criminal should be linked to the group. They feel that IPOB is being unfairly targeted because of its political stance and because it challenges the Zoo Nation. Others, however, remain skeptical. They argue that whether IPOB admits it or not, the reality is that insecurity in the region has grown and ordinary people are the ones suffering the consequences. To them, the endless blame game between IPOB and the zoo government does not change the fact that markets, businesses, and daily life are under threat in parts of the southeast. This issue goes beyond just one man called Gento Yahoo. It highlights a bigger battle over the narrative of insecurity in the southeast. On one side, the zoo government insists that IPOB and its sympathizers fuel the violence. On the other side, IPOB continues to say it is being falsely accused and that criminals are using its name to carry out evil. Caught in the middle are ordinary citizens, many of whom just want peace, security, and freedom to live their lives without fear of violence or harassment from either side. So what do you think about IPOB's latest denial? Do you believe that IPOB is truly a peaceful group as they claim, or do you think there is more to the story than they are admitting? And what about Nnamdi Kanu's statement in court? Do you think it proves IPOB's innocence, or does it raise more questions? And also, what does the arrest of Gento Yahoo really mean? Is it a turning point in the fight for peace in the southeast, or just another chapter in a long story of fear, displacement, and broken trust? Do you believe the capture of one commander can truly bring peace, or does the Zoo Nation need a complete rethink of how it handles the Southeast crisis? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to 24/7 News Boss for more in-depth stories. Thank you for watching.